Soviets and Soviets of the Red Army, how y'all doing? This is GalOneill.
And I'm Rangru, low.
And folks, as we promised, we're over here on Shchedrin with another one of the Red Storm 44 SD2 replays. Like I said, Shchedrin, got ourselves some lovely players with some lovely equipment. Rang, who do we have?
Left-hand side in blue, we have GalOneill playing for Panzer with a Maverick income. And on the right-hand side in the red, we have HerrRobert playing Vanguard mechanized with mechanized with a Vanguard income.
So 3rd mech, 5th Panzer. Obviously, guys, you saw already, we're gonna have tons of tigers, tons of panthers, a lot of big cats. We're going to the zoo today. But what about the 3rd? So I don't think we've seen either one of his divisions really on this mod just yet. What should we be expecting?
3rd is still pretty similar to vanilla. It's a lot of Shermans. Those Shermans are pretty good. They got decent infantry, of course. Pretty standard stuff. But in this mod, you know, those tigers and panthers are a little bit more scarier from what I see. And HerrRobert only really has your SC-85s as heavy anti-tank. He does have some cluster bomber as well, so I mean, Shchedrin is not the best map for heavy tanks, as it's pretty, close quarters. So it'll be interesting to see how HerrRobert will deal with any tigers or panthers that come out to play.
Certainly true. Forgive me, I'm watching over here as we have like our little wannabe Jeep engaging those BA-64s. Martyr 3 in the back. I mean, like, yeah, this northern infantry, this northern push, it's like descent into this massacre of troops on both sides. 222 by itself is just going to devastate a lot of these light vehicles. Of course, I say that and immediately he goes down.
Yeah, T-34s, and now HerrRobert's got like a pretty good push here. He's got the BA-64s backing up, some infantry, he's got 2 Zis guns, Shermans, and T-34s galore. While GalOneill, it's a little bit lighter up north. He has a bit more infantry, but of course some of them are ersatz Panzer Grenadiers, but the motorized Pioneers and regular Panzer Grenadiers are still pretty good.
Oh man, I'm familiarizing myself with more and more of these particular emblems. So we get guards down to the south, that's a plus 10% stress resistance. And geez, to the north, you cannot be a German fighting vehicle. You're just getting absolutely shredded. But down to the south, though, we are seeing a development as we have P4s, Martyr 3s. Like, we're seeing a very big kind of setup here. Wouldn't be surprised if we see GalOneill really start to develop an attack here in the south and maybe roll that middle?
Yeah, it definitely seems to be the case. He's definitely taking advantage of more of the lighter and medium armor aspects in 5th Panzer. And it's especially good because holding onto a hill of Martyrs are going to be rather tough customers to deal with. But yeah, bringing in some infantry into the hill will definitely help out. Up north, we're seeing a 410 being brought in. Lots of cannons, and he's going to find something to strafe.
Yeah, and you know what? He's hitting exactly the people he needs to. Hit those... Oh, what the deuce?
No, come on. I think he lost line of sight. Doesn't really have much recon there, it seems.
But, jeez. He's got to move quick, because there's very quickly not going to be anything left inside that town.
Yeah.
The sheer amount of machine gun fire by itself, screw anything else.
It is the perfect push here for HerrRobert to make, as his civilian definitely works better in these close quarters engagements here. And you see a lot of GalOneill troops don't have even anti-tank on them. So, yeah, those Shermans and T-34s and heck, even BA-64s are just going to be a huge pain in the arse. And yeah, HerrRobert's just steamrolling through that area.
Yeah, he's steamrolling for right now. I mean, we're going to see another 410. So yeah, guys, there's 2 410s on the map here, and he's got both of them out. They're out to play, and those armored vehicles, well, they're not going to have a very good day after that.
Yeah, holy crap, just the amount of firepower.
But one thing it is important to kind of recognize here, though, too, is that despite the fact that we are seeing kills happen, they are happening on the BA-64s, which are about the same thing as slapping some armor on top of a Kubelwagen over here for the Germans. So, like,
yeah,
while it's very impressive, let's not kid ourselves and pretend that it's earth-shattering.
And it's all the tanks you have to worry about.
Exactly, and I say that as much to remind myself of that as it is to remind us as viewers here as well. Yeesh, there's a 45 mil takes out a P4 in the center. These are the P4G, so these are the recon ones as well. So excellent observational capabilities. And are we seeing any kind of anti-air being brought on it? Yep, a 37 mil. Maybe a second one? No, just 137 mil. So that's gonna be enough to kind of dissuade any further pushes. But GalONeill taking one in the teeth here.
Yeah, I don't know how he's gonna recover up north. It just seems like a complete lost cause at this point. HerrRobert has managed to trade extremely efficiently, and trading efficiently in this mod is a pretty big deal if you can get those efficient kills on the enemy without losing much of it. But 410 did manage to kill a tank, it seems, so
yep.
Maybe, I want to say you can attrition them down, but at the same time, Vanguard mech have a lot of tanks. I don't think he's just going to be able to easily just, you know, kill them one by one slowly.
No, probably not. But he's still able to take out, you know, infantry squad here, infantry squad there. By the way, guys, one thing actually I did learn from a very kind comment. Reason right now is to see that we have airstats P-Grens huddling behind enemy lines here as opposed to anything else. More than likely influenced by those command vehicles, command kind of troops as well. And you can see with that Mchuk Maroti dead, well, P-Grens are recovering the front line rather well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right, tank command comment. I never really thought about it like that, because yes, you do get the increased frontline like capture bonus if you have a command vehicle nearby and influences a regular dude. So as we're seeing here, these tanks are doing a pretty good job at securing frontline territory because they have radio communications with their commander.
Well, and the same thing over here is happening here in the center. We have a number of fully fleshed out 5th Panzer units, but they're technically all behind enemy lines because we have the Komroti. That officer right there is keeping everything at bay.
Yeah, leadership is very important in this mod. Just like, as we're seeing now, buffing out those guys, the 3-star veterancy, and buffed up with, you know, the regular guard buff. You know, as guard models directly will be pretty deadly once they get eyes on an MG42 team, if they can.
They should have it already, though. I mean, geez, they're... Oh my gosh, he's really doing this John Wick BS where he just kind of sidles on through? Like, that's impressive.
Is it because... Okay, yeah, the MG42 team is, like, excellent stealth, so... They must be really... It's hard to see.
And somehow, despite the fact that these guys are literally 300 meters apart, they can't hit each other.
Yeah.
That's a...
Also, because in the mod, I think, like, the line of sight in Heavy Forest is only, like, 70, 80 meters, now I think about it, so it does allow you to sneak by stuff much more efficiently. Where with Light Forest, you're being spotted at roughly like 120 meters.
No, but you know what? It kind of
change up.
It kind of reminds me of, you know, Longest Day when they're walking along the stone wall and the Germans and the Americans pass by each other. Like, that's exactly how that instant feels here.
Yeah. Yeah, Heavy Forest can be pretty heavy. Up north, we're seeing GalONeill getting a foothold back into the town here with some Panzer Grenadiers. He doesn't really have a lot of infantry, so I feel like he's not going to have much left in A phase to help reinforce his northern side. And just looking at the amount of army it's still available here from HerrRobert's side, I don't think he's going to have a good time. He does have some anti-tank capabilities on these infantry units.
He does,
I don't think it's going to be enough.
Some, but the second that they open up, watch all the unholy amounts of firepower that's going to be lofted the other direction.
Yeah. He doesn't have any Panzerschrecks in his deck, because I've noticed in this mod taking, like, Panzerschreck teams is actually very worthwhile, because you can actually sneak them up and get good kills with them. And also I noticed that a lot of the regular infantry are a little bit more lackluster in terms of anti-tank, like Panzerfaust. You do get a decent amount of anti-tank grenades with certain units, of course, but as we're seeing up north here, yeah, the infantry are just completely screwed.
Well, again, you have 5 or 6 Shermans, just the Shermans coming in. And guys, let's not forget here, 3 machine guns on each one of those. One of those is a Ma Deuce, and then we have 2 M1919s on there. Absurd amounts of firepower. It's like watching Stuarts coming on through.
Yeah, we are seeing off map being dropped in Rich.
It's too little
Definitely
too late.
He needs...
But it's too little too late.
Yeah,
30 seconds.
Troops.
probably the most luck he's going to have here is that this P4 is able to engage effectively, and I don't know that he's been able to do that so far. He's throwing rounds down range and missing everything that's in the zip code.
Yeah,
Yep.
I feel like for GalONeill, his best bet is to get Tiger or Panther up north and just try to use that heavy armor to his advantage, because those Shermans, as scary as they are, pretty terrible anti-tank against anything, heavier than a Panzer IV. So I don't feel like GalONeill is going to get back into the town in this match, but he can at least stop HerrRobert from taking advantage of it anymore, just with some heavy tanks surrounding the outside of it.
Well, we are going to see down to the south real quick. Take a quick look. Yep, 410 was down there. Not able to do anything effective. There's really no anti-air there either. So he's announced his presence on the other part of the battlefield. And I think that battle space is going to be probably sealed off pretty quickly. Oh, no, wait. Ooh, here's something interesting. I'm just kind of paying attention to this now. HerrRobert really only has 3 pieces of anti-air.
Yeah. Literally
3.
Yeah. 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 Like 337 mils he can call and throughout the entire match, which is barely enough if you play your cards right, but it's not ideal. But to be fair, both sides don't have a lot of air power assets to worry about, so I don't think it's gonna be a huge impact in this game.
I don't know. We definitely saw some massive impacts the last game. Deep impacts, if you really want to be quite that crazy. You might even say it was a bit of an Armageddon play that happened every now and again. Yikes. I think the only reason that it wasn't a true Armageddon is that Morgan Freeman wasn't, in fact, in the movie. Or was... No, that's Deep Impact, wasn't it?
I have no idea.
I think it was Deep Impact. I think there's Elijah Wood in there. Anyway, not important. Stay away from asteroids and Bruce Willis. Looking back to the north, yeah, we're going to see a Tiger coming on in. It means we are into Phase B. And not a moment too soon, because GalONeill is, like you said, just getting hammered hard.
Yeah. I do like those T-34 is going to sneak up on the Marder here, using advantage of the low side of the hill to cover him.
For the moment, yes. So it'll be good for the moment. I think he's trying to... he's just sprinting on forwards. Interesting decision.
He's going to be engaging up north. No, I think he's going to manually... There we go. Manual attack order on the Marder 3. Which definitely seems to be the plan. But the 222 getting a flank on him. Don't think it's going to come in time, on 222 moving. It's going to make it rather inaccurate. Holy crap. That's like a move-in shot kill from the T-34.
It's about the closest you can get to a 360 no-scope and then getting wrecked by the next noob around the corner.
Yeah, but turning his turret all the way around to deal with the 222 did not leave him ready to deal with the Marder.
That is certainly true.
Yeah.
So there's material going on in every single direction here. There was a pack track down south. He's going down. There's got 2 410s making equal runs. Desperate to kill something here. Might be able to stress out that Emcha? No.
Almost. But yeah, the veterancy coming in king and it's a very good push from HerrRobert down south.
For the moment, yes, but we do have a Panther coming on in, and there is nothing that can be done against it. Unless the SU-85 hits it from the side, dude, he's not dying. Yeah,
the only problem here for GalONeill is he doesn't have really anything to green for the Panther. I mean, he does have some stuff on the opposing hill. He hasn't managed to capture the flag yet, and it's so close. He really needs to try and pick up some objectives elsewhere, because it's really not looking good for him. He has managed to stabilize up north a bit, and maybe if his, Panzer Grenadier pioneers here rushing into the front line, he might be able to, get a flag or 2 back in his town. I mean, the Tiger will be enough to keep any Shermans from popping on out. But inside the town, it gets a bit deadly.
Absolutely. 410 for some reason, getting engaged from the other side of the map, and dear God, he takes one... He almost took out the guard squad. He was almost able to do something valuable in death.
I'm really curious what that spark critical hit does.
Yeah, me too. I continue to see that. I don't know if that's just a flavor thing, more or less, or if that's like a...
Because it seems big.
It happens a lot.
Yeah, because that plane was like, full on, like it was barely stressed out, and it got shot down. So, if anyone knows, please let us, please let us know in the comments, because I'd be rather curious.
Well, yeah, it definitely seems like he got shut down because he was overzealous. You know, he played hard to get, and, well, AAA guns got jealous, so...
That's a good rhyme.
Well, it was actually something from Busted, so I can't claim full... Busted Move, rather. So, you know, that, great song of the 90s. But 16-8, yeah, where the heck does GalO'Neill apply pressure? I feel like this Cambrati over here in the center, he dies, and suddenly I feel like the entire rest of the southern central area is completely wide open.
Yeah. Yeah, it's... GalO'Neill is actually making good headway up north with the Pioneer pushing and the Tiger backing him up. He's being able to knock out doing decent against the Saparese a bit, and the off-map coming in as well, you know. Oh, it's smoke off-map, yeah, there we go. So that's definitely a good play to cover his advance, yeah. And I do like out of the off-map artilleries now, where, as we mentioned before, a lot of regular artillery pieces have been delegated to off-map artillery duty. But with that, you can choose to either call in regular high explosive shells or smoke shells with them, so they still act, you know, as useful as they were. Arguably, I think it's better because, you know,
you can't get counter-batteried.
Yeah, you don't get counter-batteried first off, unless you lose your observer, but you actually get an artillery barrage rather than just, you know, usually only buy one or two, you know, howitzers, especially in 1v1s. And goddamn, just look at smoke coverage, that is fantastic.
Yeah, that's pretty dang good, isn't it?
Yeah, like you can make a good push happen with that smoke. He doesn't have too much here to really take advantage of it. Our one Pioneer troop is taking some pretty heavy casualties to his Sapari, and then they aren't gonna go down, so...
You adopted the smoke, I was born in it.
Oh.
You got cold in the snow. P Grant's over here. Unfortunately, I think they're still constrained. It's still with being 3 barrages, though, isn't it?
I'm not entirely sure. I think I don't know. I'm just not gonna say anything in that regard. You just get like a decent amount of, you know, ammunition overall with each off-map artillery unit.
Kind of fascinating in the meantime. So we have Panther running point for 2 P4Gs. So we are seeing them then turning on and just... They've taken out the Emtra on this hill. There's still a Camarati up there. We can't wonder... Yeah, bring up Pack 40 spot troop. So we're seeing the beginnings of a counterattack. But it's one of those moments where everything's being dripped and drabbed in by just necessity.
Yeah.
And I suppose the question is, how do you mass your troops effectively when you can't get any kind of critical mass?
Yeah, it's definitely becoming a bit of an issue here for GalO'Neill. They once again traded his extremely an efficient way to win matches, and right now, especially in the central hill position, he's not doing too good. He's probably going to lose the Panzer Grenadier Führer. Maybe he might be able to pull back just in the nick of time with the artillery backing him up. But it's tough for 5th Panzer in a map like this because infantry is, you know, this is a pretty big infantry map. And you don't get a whole lot of infantry for your 5th Panzer play, so you have to really make it count. And up north, I think he's really spending most of them up north to take back that town, and he hasn't managed to make too much progress for it. You know, I do like with the Tiger, he's flanking it up north, and he's just trying to get some, you know, tank-on-tank fights. He's got to kill 5 Shermans before he blows up.
Exactly, and he's got to take, you know, 5 Panzerfaust before he officially can get, you know, goes down. He's been picking up a couple kills here and there. Don't get me wrong.
Track's broken, yo. It's definitely gonna hinder him for the time being.
Well, and here's the thing now too. Do you waste an Su-85 to swing around and take him out, or do you just ignore him and just treat him like a pillbox?
I'd probably try and blow him up.
Exactly. I feel like I'm the kind of guy who just has to go and get rid of that piece of equipment, but you got to make sure you're getting around him. Of course, your material is a full-on. I have to turn and fire at you, and he can hit you 360 degrees. So that's always the trade-off here.
Yeah, and down south, the Panther's definitely coming in clutch as well. The heavy armor is becoming pretty useful here for GalO'Neill. HerrRobert is dealing with it. The Tiger in like the north and central position, he's just been smoked. I think he dropped his own smoke maybe because he's being shot at. Because yeah, sometimes you have smoke.
Yes, he did.
Now,
he's got 5. He just dropped 5 smoke.
Yeah, so pretty useful tool as we're seeing there. It definitely helps keeping your heavy tanks alive a bit longer.
Certainly seems to be the case. Now, other major issue that keeps happening is that, yes, while we are seeing a slight resurgence here and there, I think so many of the critical positions have already been lost. It's a little hard to be completely sanguine about this.
Yeah, and HerrRobert, you know, his infantry are just in good defensive positions all over, especially in the town. All those Separi troops are an absolute pain to dig out, because you get close to them, they just throw a satchel charge in your face. It's pretty rude.
Yeah, you know, some guys drop off brownies, some drop off cookies, and some guys just throw high explosives at you, so...
Yeah. Yeah. And, I mean, armored vehicles in the town definitely help out for Gal, because I don't believe... Yeah, Separis don't have anti-tank grenades, so you can just drive off a Panther. Or a Panzer, and you still get hit by the HG from satchel charge.
Yeah, I was gonna say, who cares?
You'll be able to survive that for the most part. But HerrRobert bringing some map of his own up north, just to pepper that area, keep anyone out of it.
Wait a second. You were saying that they don't have HE grenades or any kind of anti-tank. Wasn't the comment last time when we talked about some of these replays that all infantry has a measure of built-in AT?
Oh no, it's only if they have the attribute, kind of like with like the guard attribute.
Okay.
That attribute.
Okay.
So anti-tank grenades is instead of being a weapon slot on an infantry squad, it's now just an attribute which essentially is the weapon, but you get infinite ammo of anti-tank grenades. Yeah, I don't think many people really ran out of anti-tank grenades in regular matches, to be fair.
Most guys
I don't remember that really happening.
Most guys who used them in the war didn't run out of anti-tank grenades either. They usually died first. They ran out of their lives.
Oh, Katusha, down south.
You're absolutely right. Yep, going for the Panther, not really doing a whole lot.
Yeah, not gonna, you know, MLRS isn't great against a single target. And that's actually an incendiary Katusha, so really more directed for anti-infantry work here.
Part of it too, though, is that again, if you're gonna go and fire it from as far as you are, let's see again. So yeah, 8 kilometers range, and he's firing at max range. Why not just pepper the north?
Yeah, I think that's definitely a race of an artillery shot. Yeah.
But maybe he's just bringing it for the lulls, because again, it is 15-9. So 15-9, 3.5 minutes left of GalONeill's life before, you know, the old Stargate there closes. And yeah, I don't know if there's the ability to come back from this. It's, you know, sorry, 640 now, but
yeah, it's just HerrRobert has traded efficiently, and he's very dug in. Central hill position, lots of dudes. Southern position, he has an okay amount of dudes. Maybe GalONeill can take back at Southern hill, but especially up north in the town, it's just absolute hell here for GalONeill. Moving in some Panzer IVs in there, but T-34s and the Shermans are going to be able to engage efficiently.
Well, heck, even when he brings in some of these half-tracks and stuff like that, they're still going to get engaged by, oh, look, an Su-85. There's only one way that's going to go.
Yeah. Rush hour traffic can be really killer in Moscow.
Yeah, especially when you're fighting against the mud. Like, dude, just, like, no traction. Yeah, it's ice cold, man.
Yeah. You've ever seen, like...
And those guys don't want to wash your windows. They're trying to blow up your tank with Molotov cocktails.
Have a drink on the house. We are seeing some pioneer troops being brought in up north here, once again trying to make something happen. Actually deploying them pretty aggressively, and actually using quite a lot of artillery. Some...
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. So
mortar.
Look at the center.
Oh, it is. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's a lot of Shermans, man.
I don't care if I have a Panther. You can take out 4 Shermans to my 1. Doesn't matter. I have guys walking point, just taking hits. Take out the Nikis. I have an Su-85 there. And legitimately, if we want to play trade 4 for 1, I will still come out ahead if I'm GalONeill. Sorry, if I'm HerrRobert, rather.
Yeah, that's just a pretty good push overall, and that's gonna secure the town, or not town, the forest. Yeah, tank to sneak key. Fantastic in CQC, of course. That Panzer Grenadier Fuhrer is still on that hill, but not in the most precarious, or in a pretty precarious position. What I'm trying to say.
Oh, extremely precarious. Now, one thing that's very lucky over here for this Panther is that it's only one guy engaging him at a time. So, damaged optics and badly damaged optics, obviously two very different things, but, you know, still amusing to see. Attack of Desantniki, I didn't realize there's an entire emblem here. I forgot about this. Yeah, I forgot. They have a stress resilience and better influence for the Attack of Desantniki.
Yeah. When they're nearby, like, friendly Shermans and T-34s, which is a nice little bonus. Encourages you to try and treat him realistically of keeping him near your tanks to, you know, provide cover, because that's what they did.
Indeed.
And there we go. Tap out.
No, not even a tap out. That was a kill. Yeah, and Colonel O'Neill over here goes down. Unfortunately, KD not terrible, but I think a lot of that just came in the early part of this match. Really hard to keep up.
Yeah,
really hard to keep up.
Blitzkrieg up north there with the armored push from HerrRobert completely shut down that side, and then he manages to build up enough forces in the central and southern position to, you know, push effectively.
Well, it's like you said, looking at a lot of these guys who have 2 and 3 and 4 kills, most of them are killing at least their weight in flesh before they go down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty standard, like, third mech stuff. Those Shermans, T-34, you know, the cheapest chips, but they get the job done. And they're pretty good in close quarters engagements, which is what HerrRobert was mostly engaged. He was trying to deny those Panthers and Tigers from, you know, getting easy kills.
Well, look on the other side of things, too. Yes, the Tigers and the Panthers, where they were able to fully deploy and able to fully assert themselves, 4 kills, 5 kills. We have we have a Panzer 38, so the Mortar 3 picking up 4 kills by itself. The 410 picking up 4 or 5 kills. The other 410 getting 2 kills. If we're not talking about the infantry fight, which is asking us to exclude an awful lot, I would say that GalONeill comes out ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Problem is, we got to go and consider more than just more than just the vehicle fight. So
yeah, this is a map that, like a lot of 1v1 maps, it definitely favors more infantry tactics, close quarters tactics, and third guard mechanized is really bloody good at Sherman stabilizers, man. Gotta love Sherman stabilizers.
Indeed. But that's what you kind of need. You need to have that happen sometimes. You gotta have those stabilizers. But yes, I believe that's going to do it. I think for our casts for this week, especially for the Redstorm 44 mod. Any final thoughts for our lovely viewers?
None this week.
Okay, so one thing, guys, again, so do me a favor, if you do know the whole idea about the barrages in terms of the off-map, do let us know in the comments. But until next week, I'm GalOneill.
I'm Ringru. Take it easy.